Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this video. Here at A&G, we try to help out our fellow person by creating some tutorial videos for you. This isn't going to be hugely in-depth. I'm not crazy technical whenever it comes down to this. This is just meant to kind of bring you a very quick guide setup for your microphone and sound. Now, for your mic sound setup, you need to understand a couple of things. One, you need to understand where to look for it inside of Windows. You'll also need to understand what type of microphone you have. For instance, the mic that I have to face a certain part of the mic towards me, so it picks up my voice clearly. If I talk to it on the side over here, even though I'm still speaking loud, all of a sudden it is going away. It is very important that you understand what type of microphone that you are working with. Also, any sort of add-on sounds, add-on software programs that will help manipulate sounds. We can go over some of those maybe at a later time. I might put that in this video as well. Just trying to, once again, just kind of get a very quick setup. On the screen, what you currently see is kind of just a raw image of what the screen looks like. As you can see back over here, I have some green screen effects kind of going on. This image right here is completely green, so it kind of shows this background and goes all up to it. I move it around depending on the stream that I'm working with. You'll also notice my dogs in the background. They tend to sit on the couch while I do work. That is their couch. No matter what anybody tells you, I buy things for them. So what you're going to hear is the sound is going to go completely silent for a second, and you're going to see me actually add in a microphone into the system here. So what you're going to see as we swap over, where is it at? Screen capture. All right, here we go. Now we're back. So I'll go over what I just did for you. I was talking about it anyways, in case anybody's good at lip reading. What you do is you go to click you add audio input capture. All right. Mine is already set up and I have labeled it as mic. So then I would click mic here and tell it okay. Now, if you didn't have it, what you do is you would hit create new and you would go through and create a new input setup. That setup would then go through and guide you on your next little bit. It will look something roughly like this. I do apologize for the screen looking so weird because of the wait. Come on. My other little heathen. This guy. Yep. All right. All right. So this screen here, once again, I'm trying to make this look as pretty as possible. That is the capture. I'm terribly sorry about that. This screen here is what you would have. I have several different mics that can pick up my voice here. All right, so don't wig out over this. Don't get upset if you don't see your exact model here. The model that I am looking for this microphone is the microphone USB PNP audio device. It's listed at the very bottom. As I stated before, some of these are software control enhancements that you can use. I use a total of 3. So in other words, it goes from my mic into a VB audio that gives kind of a warm tone. And then it goes into a voice modification if I so choose for it to be in that voice mod. And then it goes out to the software or out to my stream. In other words, I can use this for channel points, fun gimmicks, playing certain games. It can make my voice sound like somebody in a cop car. It can make it sound like a baby. It can make it sound like a girl. Whatever I kind of really want, I can really play with it. Make it sound like you're inside of a cave, a UFO, whatever. But anyways, what I'm looking for here is the microphone USB plug and play audio device. That is this mic. For this video, I am not selecting that. I'm going to leave it on this because it's a virtual line. However, once you get it onto your OBS, you're going to notice you're going to have this line. Every time I talk, this line goes up and down. From this line, you want to make sure on average that you have about the yellow area selected on when you're talking. This is about how I would talk to people that are in my game, to my chat, This is roughly the normal tone that I would use. Some games I may talk a little bit lower, like Phasmophobia. I may talk a little bit softer. Other games may get a little bit louder depending on like first person shooter, if I'm getting excited with something. In general, I want it here. Now, this did not sound like this before. Much. Now, this did not always sound like this. This used to sound very different. So if I take away a noise gate and gain, you'll notice that all of a sudden it kind of sounds a little bit differently. You can also hear a lot of background noise behind me. So you hear that? That's roughly where everything's at. Now, this line that you see where it stops and idles, so mine's hitting right around about 60 to -50 here. So once again, let's see if I can enlarge this. There you go, kind of gives you more of an idea on what it is. And what you're hearing in the background is my cat. So background noise is just like that. So my average is about 50, right? So that means that my gate, I want to set my gate. I want it to open whenever I peak above 50-ish, maybe 45-ish, all right? Now, I've kind of changed this around for a couple of things that happen in my environment, but in general, my open threshold, it will not actively open until I hit that 30 mark with my voice. And as you can see, I very commonly pick up here into the 10s and 5s. All right. So we're going to come back down with, oh, not that. Come back down with this here just so you can see the screen a little bit better. Now, I'm going to change this to, let's say, -45, right? So close the noise gate. Now, in general, it won't pick up unless it stays above that -45 degree, which you'll notice happens quite a bit. It's very close to it. See how it hangs right around that area? That's why I set mine just a little bit higher. So in other words, I want my voice to be about -35 decibels. So now, until I actively stay above this 35 here, it will not open my mic for everybody else to hear me, at least through stream. Now, Discord can still hear me. Everybody else can still hear me. They can still hear me quite well. But this here, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for it to stay just above that -35 decibel points to make sure that it's actively opening for me. You'll notice there that whenever nothing is heard above that point, it closes the mic off. It shuts it down. So what it will do here on this closed threshold, if I wanted to be a little bit more aggressive with this, I could bring this up to, let's say, about 50. So in other words, if anything drops below 50, it starts actively closing that the microphone down. And so that will cause it to go down and drop into the off mode a little bit quicker. Okay, now we will go back. I'm going to close the gate. So now the microphone will stay active at all times. Now we're going to take a look at gain. On average, I'm gaining about 5 decibels for every time that I talk. If I take this off, for the most part, I'm going to stay right around average. Remember how I said I have 3 different programs that run my mic? In some cases, whenever I use a voice mod, it will drop that volume down just a little bit. I'm not sure if this is because of audio processing or what may cause that to change, but for the most part, I've noticed on average, whenever I'm not using the voice mod, it sounded like I was a little bit lower. It may have changed. I've tweaked on a little bit today, so this may be always a setting I might be playing with, but whenever this is on, my average volume comes up and stays right into the red area, which I found through listening back at my videos on Twitch, having other people respond to me on Twitch. It really gives me a good feedback of saying, hey, you're about right where we need you to be. We can hear you. So in other words, they may have to turn their volume up on their computer, their phone, laptop, whatever. But for the most part, they can hear me just fine. Now, whenever I turn it off, you're going to notice that the average volume has went back down to yellow. The problem with that is if I go through and I use like my voice meter, my voice mod, some of these programs tend to give me that problem where they don't allow the full effect to come through, so they don't get to hear me. That is the only reason I have this little bit of a gain on this here. Now, I want to emphasize something. If you have a mic that is far away, for instance, I have a microphone that's over here that the dog cam was on, that also has a mic on it. And it is set up to pick up like video conferencing chats. So it was kind of made more for Skype. Even the camera that you're looking at me through has a microphone on it, but I have it shut down so nobody can hear my voice come through that mic. I want to make sure it's this mic here. So if all of a sudden you have a microphone that is probably crashing or going straight into the red because you're having to yell so much and it sounds like you're very far away, remember, check to see where your which microphone it is that you're using. So like I said, this one here, the webcam, that's one the JVC U100. That's my webcam that has the pets or the couch that you saw in the very beginning of this video. The voice meter, the Lion Elgato, these are all different audio sources and pieces that can deliver sound out to my stream. Once again, I'm leaving it here just because I am using virtual. So in other words, it goes from this microphone here into this microphone here. As you can see, my hardware input is USB plug and play. So in other words, this is picking up what I'm looking for. And then it is sending it out via voice meter aux input, right? And then last piece that we have here, gotta find my settings. The settings right here. This is the system input, so voice meter aux output. So in other words, this right here is sending it to this, and then this outputs it to the speaker's Elgato capture card, which is my main way of putting out system sound through my my speaker or my headset whenever I wear it. For the most part, that is really the only two things that you really want to play around with. So remember, a noise gate opens and closes depending on the volume that you're speaking to it with. So if you are a very soft-spoken person and your environment is very quiet, you may not need a noise gate. You may only need just a noise gain. And once again, be very gentle with noise gain. I had Dead Willpower help me out to kind of set up some of these and made me realize, oh crap, I misplaced some of my settings and it was causing a very bad sound. You can actually see some of the earlier videos on one of my streams, and you'll see how bad it sounded compared to what you hear now. This is a very warm, vibrant tone, and it sounds much, much better. But anyways, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at ANG. We're always here to help. Your streamer mods are always here to help you. People like myself. You have Dead Willpower, who does this for a living, if I remember correctly. So feel free to reach out to us. We're here to help you. But once again, thanks for hanging out with us. Thank you for being a part of our team. We're glad to have you. We're glad to help with you. Y'all take care, and we'll see you streaming.